So much for staying tuned to this channel. If you just joined us, this is This Morning on ITV, Sunday's edition, the first edition of the week. Well, it's all about the aftermath of EDO 2020. You listened to the first set of guests that talked about possibilities of reconciliation. Is it possible? From what you heard from the first set of guests, is it really possible? Well, in course of this discussion, we'll take a look at a certain agenda for Governor Obaseki in this second term. With me here in the studio, I have a vibrant analyst. I'd like to start my introduction by introducing a clergyman, a legal practitioner, and Islamic scholar. Join me to welcome Alhaji Alao Amin. Welcome to TMI, Sunday's edition, Alhaji.
Thank you very much, Wilson. Good morning, viewers.
All right. As anybody close to him is a vibrant youth, no other person than Ibogo Emmanuel, a strong political analyst. Emmanuel, welcome to TMI, Sunday's edition.
Good morning, Wilson, and good morning, my Edo people watching.
All right. And at my extreme left is an entrepreneur, a vibrant personality who will talk about politics. Join me to welcome Festus Agboinfo. Welcome to TMI.
Thank you so much, Wilson. Good morning, Benin.
Right. Now, before we dive into certain agenda for Governor Godwin Obaseki, let's peruse a little bit on this particular topic, possibilities of reconciliation. Let me start off with you, Barrister Alao Amin. The possibilities of reconciliation, how do you view it in this context?
Thank you very much, Wilson. There is what we always say. I listened to the other discussants who just left the studio very much. It is permissible for an aggrieved party to proceed to take legal steps. Those steps are still taken to ensure that there is justice that is approaching the courts. And at the same time, we always say that a bad settlement is better than a good judgment in some cases. Because the bad settlement makes you become friends, and the good judgment, the winner takes all. That's when you see at a particular point that someone has already prepared ground for inauguration. You will hear a pronouncement from the Supreme Court that you are not to occupy that seat, even though you have prepared the ground for your inauguration. But very importantly, talking about reconciliation, I want to start by commending the role of His Royal Majesty Oba II, the Oba of Benin, who relentlessly took steps that we all saw towards reconciling the parties during the crisis. And that step continued shortly before the election. We witnessed the two candidates embraced. Now, what can we deduce from this? It is very clear that the candidates are not enemies. They are friends, they are idolites, they are brothers. We are all brothers. We are children of Adam, we enlarge it. But we have people who are always responsible for enlarging, for expanding the conflagration of conflict whenever it happens, because they have something to benefit. And so, for the big key players, there's no problem. You can see the governor has magnanimously extended hands of fellowship to all. Let us move Edo State forward. The victory is for us all. No victor, no vanquished. After the Civil War, Nigeria, Biafra went to Ghana. The Aguri Accord. On Aguri we stand. And so anybody who actually has the interest of the country and the state at heart should be interested genuinely in reconciliation. But some will be afraid that if reconciliation takes place now, and the governor says, okay, let us embrace them, and the governor decided to embrace them, oh, I'm already eyeing the seat of the commissioner. I don't go reach my hand again. Because now we have more people now coming. Such people, for selfish interest, will not want there to be reconciliation. Because you feel, oh, it's not, the food is not even enough for us to eat. Meanwhile, you've forgotten that the governor we are dealing with does not believe in sharing food. He believes in using the money for the state. So, let me stop there for now. That reconciliation is welcome. So that the governor can concentrate. At the same time, if the aggrieved party feels, oh, I want to take some steps legally, not illegally, then of course, you cannot also blame the aggrieved party. Okay, thank you so much, Barrister Amin Alao. Ibogu Emmanuel.
Yes, Mr. Wilson.
Well, you've heard Barrister Amin Alao, and of course the first set of discussants, the analysts, they spoke at length. What do you feel about this concept of reconciliation?
Well, reconciliation in any dispute is always the way to resolve such disputes. But looking at what we are being faced with today, we are not talking about a dispute. We are talking about a process in governance that has, been overheated and is begging for a sort of reconciliation. Firstly, you must look into the picture. Who are those who are directly affected? I heard very many of our brothers who sat down here did say that 17 members out of 24 went about their business unlawfully, and the matter was the subject of litigation, and they still went ahead to inaugurate themselves. I would also want to let them know that this is not just the members alone doing that. We had issues in court owing to the business of T. Latifa Hotels and Suites, where the Edo State government, under the leadership of Governor Godwin Obaseki, came out with all manner of force to demolish, raise the hotel of one Kabaka Adu, and that person happened to be a member of the APC. In fact, in all of this issue of reconciliation, I think if the governor wants to be sincere, those persons who have had economic losses, those persons who their businesses were shut down because they were not supporting the governor, those persons who their businesses were destroyed because they were not supporting the governor, I think the governor should not wait for political reconciliation. Those are people who went about their lawful businesses, who were doing their lawful engagements, and the government, with all show of force, went as far as going to seal up, going to demolish. And if you're talking about reconciliation, let us not look at it from the political perspective. Let us look at it from the real sense of reconciliation.
All right.
So that is it.
I will come back to you. You allege that some person's properties were destroyed.
It's not an allegation. It's not an allegation. It was a subject
of, on that.
Sorry,
because
sir.
Now, as a PDP member, Festus, you heard him. He talked about reconciliation should start from that aspect. He just said it. He said it's not an allegation, but right now it's what it is. Festus, what do you have to say about this? Those people, according to him, whose properties were destroyed, and some other point he raised.
Yeah, thank you so much. When you talk about it, I don't really think that there is anything to reconcile here, because that was already made before the election by the Benin monarch, Oba Ewa the second degree Oba Tokbe. The whole world saw it when he called the both parties involved in this election, both the APC governorship candidate and the PDP governorship candidate, which is our city governor today. Today, now that the people have spoken, I don't think that the people's voice has spoken. I don't think that there's anything to reconcile. If I will advise my governor, there's nothing to reconcile again. The winner have won. Is there anything to reconcile? What we need to do is what the government need to be thinking now, or what the governor have to do now, is to move the state forward. Because even the president of the country have even congratulated the governor. When you have over 84,000 votes winning, and you are talking about the reconciliation, let me come back to the one of my brother, Tony Kabaka. We all saw it on social media and TV when himself, politics is all about interest. When himself was insulting the city governor on social media everywhere, even if our father, we can insult our father. If our governor, Godwin Obaseki, is supposed to be the father of Kabaka, if you look at the age difference, and we are talking about destroying an hotel, the hotel was in government way, and the government, the matter was in court. I think the matter was in court, and the hotel was in government way. If the hotel was not in government way, my brother Tony Kabaka is my friend, is my brother. I'm from Ogbi. He can still go to court to say, this government, they demolished my hotel, and if he wins in court, he will go to court with the state government. I have my office at Technical Junction during the time of Adams, Comrade Adams Oshomole. Use Oloye to demolish a building. I already have a fast food. I already have a traveling agency. I have my main office there. Everybody in this Benin knows that office was demolished in Benin Technical Junction at Agunifo like that. And I didn't kill anybody. Today, no government compensated me for it. If Tony feel he have the legal documents, the original documents, he have to go to court for that hotel being demolished. He's not the first person government is demolishing his property. People, I am a part of it. I'm a witness. I'm a living witness. Everybody in Benin today, even the ITV, they knows when Oloye came to destroy my office. So therefore, there is nothing to reconcile. The governor have won. Let him be focused. If come to November 12, 2020, he's going to be sworn in for the second tenure. The APC made their campaign, the PDP made their campaign, and there was a winner. There's nothing to reconcile.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Well, from what is happening right now, do you think of reconciliation?
I've been around now.
He said it passed us the reconciliation.
We would have done that before election.
But the governor extended that olive branch to protocol, come back, come work with me. But you're saying no to rates. Anyway, let's leave it at that. All right, let's come to certain agendas, because I don't want to dwell much into these possibilities of reconciliation. Everyone have their opinions and, of course, views. Now, this is the second tenure of Governor Godwin Obaseki. Now, some have this misgiving that in Nigeria, according to history and record, whenever you see a particular government being chaired, being held, people are so happy that they've come into power. Sometimes the people are like taken aback because of performance. Some of the opinion that the second tenure will not be as smooth or as trendy as the first tenure. What do you feel about this?
Thank you very, very much. You want me to speak very frankly, or should speak diplomatically?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Speak the way you want to speak. Okay. Following the regulations, government the airway.
Yes. Yeah. You know, depending, you can decide to speak diplomatically, and you can decide to speak frankly. So, as a cleric, I am going to speak very, very frankly. Yes. So that you can all benefit, including the speaker. Now, the business of governing a state, a nation, a house is a very, very serious business. It's a very, very challenging one, onerous one. Goes with it a lot of responsibilities. And to whom much is given, much is desired. The expectations are very, very high. But unfortunately, the resources are not always sufficient. The expectations are very high, the resources are not very, very sufficient. And so this is the first problem that we have. If you look at the projects that ought to be attended to, let us set agenda, the various sectors that need to be attended to, there are so many. Are we talking of roads? Are we talking of schools? Are we talking of medical facilities and infrastructures? Are we talking of security? Just name them. Now, but you see that the resources are now not sufficient. So what do? You prioritize the program. And that explains why politicians should be very, very careful during the electoral campaign not to make too much promises that you cannot fulfill. Because you are tied down by the promise you have made. promise is a debt. You must fulfill it here. And if you fail to fulfill it, and you are not accountable to people, on the day of judgment, Almighty God will call you to questioning. A man was called Balu the lunatic. They call him lunatic because he renounced the world. So they call him a madman. The president was passing one day, and then he advised the president, he said, "Oh, president, oh, look at the convoy, front and back. Let me tell you, don't be happy. Those people who are honoring you today, if you drop dead tomorrow, they will be the one to throw sand on you in your grave." Then the president stopped and said, "Oh, give me more advice, Balu. Nobody has sincerely advised me this way." Almighty God, Prophet Islam says that if God wants to go for a public servant, a leader, he will surround him with good advisors who will help him to discharge the obligation if he remembers, and will remind him if he forgets.
Okay.
But if God decrees otherwise, for a leader, okay, he will surround him with advisors who will not remind him if he forgets, and will not help to discharge it if he remembers. Because they are after their selfish interests. Okay. Let me stop there for now.
Okay. All right. Now, you heard him. He talked about too many promises made, expectations very, very high. I will set an agenda for Governor Obaseki.
Well, I belong to the school of thought that the governor underperformed. So, having got over 420 billion of allocations, accrued to Edo State, and there's no legacy project. Those projects that some of us thought were projects that, led us to commend the governor's, developmental strides towards those particular projects, those specific projects, particularly Osioma Power. We have still not seen the power, being utilized by those people. Till date, wires are still being connected left, right, center, and nowhere you are seeing the power that is being generated in Osioma, giving electricity to facilities of public utility, like that of the stadium where they claimed, that of the street lights in Benin City where they claimed, that of the Palm House where they claimed. We've not seen all of this. And these are where they have, channeled those state resources to. Until date, as we speak, they are not working. So not until when those things are seen to be working, or the government put them in place, because I believe those are what they have expended monies for in the first tenure already. Now, secondly, again, when you look at the issues of the teachers, particularly that of Ekadolo, despite a court ruling, the governor has still not reinstated those people to go back to work. He has still not paid them their salaries. And some of us as Democrats will begin to ask, a government where you do not respect court processes, just like what my brother said earlier, that the matter, you can still go to court. I put it to my brother here that because he's not been following up the channels, Tony Kabaka never built on government land. The houses the governor earmarked were about 11. Out of the 11 houses, he only went all out with over 200 policemen, military men, civil defense to demolish that hotel. Not only after demolishing it, there have been a series of cases in court. They have not been able to substantiate where they got the orders from, why the matter was still a subject of litigation, to go and demolish the building. As I speak, the court process is still saying that the legal counsels to T. Latifa Hotels are still saying that they should go and reinstate the building back before they come and solicit for any kind of judgment or ruling that they want. So my quest here is this. The governor, if he would rule us in Edo State, seeing the level of cases where I see that as a death trap, if he will be able to skate through that, I pray that he comes back and be a governor that will respect court orders, because under his leadership, we have seen gross violation for contempt of court. We have seen disobedience to court orders that we also blame other level of government for in this country. Right. So if we must coexist peacefully as a people, we must seem to be respecting, the governor, must be seen to be respecting those institutions that are saddled with, the authority to mitigate within parties.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manuel. I'll come back to you. Now, Festus, you raised several issues talking about gross violation of court orders, talked about some teachers not being reinstated, talked about the Osioma power supply and the rest of them. And bottom line, he said that, according to him, that the governor underperformed in his first tenure. 400 billion, right, according to you, right?
420 billion accrued to
Please,
Edo State.
First, as a party,
internally and the FEC allocation.
Thank you so much, Wilson. You see, when we are talking to Edo people, we should use diplomacy. You know, the Edo people, Edo people are not illiterate. Even in this election, I saw some of our grandmothers in the village. I vote in the village. I saw some of our grandmothers in the village. They know what is happening. If you like, you come to national TV and castigate the governor. If in a process where people were giving 5,000 and the other side no money, you think Governor Obaseki is a man that can dish out money. Let me promise Edo people. I am promising Edo people now that Obaseki will come in second tenure from November 12. When Obaseki is going from the next 4 years, Edo people will be crying. I will be one of those people that will cry at the stadium to have a man like Obaseki leaving the governors of Edo State, because that man, if he pour out what he has for Edo people, if the constitution permits it to give him 12 years or 16 years, Edo people will do it. Obaseki is going to disappoint those who feel that it's not going to work. Like the Osimo power plant that we're talking about. Everything is completed 90%. You can see, even the blind person can see that that thing is already completed 90%. There is no story about it. The APC and their people made mention before the elections that said, oh, that thing is just a main something. And the president, Buhari, is a man of believing what you have done. Buhari is a man that sees what you have done and credit you whatever any of the political party you belongs to. He sent delegates from Abuja and they came to Edo State. When those people came, they shocked and they went back with reports. It's just like when they sent some people to go and discover the land of the promised land. When some people came with reports, the report to the president was fantastic. Was fantastic. We are talking on national television, and people abroad are watching us. You saw what people abroad. You saw Obaseki still giving those people abroad. Those are our brothers and sisters in America, Canada, Europe, and everywhere. Did Obaseki give them money to also support him? You can see that even a blind man knows that Godwin Obaseki is working and he will work. I tell you, Edo people, if Obaseki fail Edo people, come and hold me responsible. My address is 211. He's not personal. I am telling you.
You're going to personal.
No, I'm not going to personal. Okay. Obaseki is not going to fail Edo people.
Okay.
My company is at
okay, hold on.
People will come and say, I'm going for you. Told us, you promised us. Now that he has won, nothing will pull him back to work.
Okay.
Obaseki has so many projects. Like I came now. You will see what is going to happen in Kenya.
Okay.
You will see what is going to happen by next month, by October, before the October ending. The Osimo will be giving light to Edo people.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Who is deceiving who?
Take it easy now. This is a watch your emotions.
Yes, I'm not watching. I'm not going to watch your emotions. I know the man I'm working with. It's not a man that will say a word.
Thank you.
And he will say.
I will come back to you, Festus.
I know him very well.
I will come back to you, Festus. Well, you've heard that vote of confidence imposed on the governor by Honorable Festus, but some of the opinion that the money got by this election. Yes. Some allegations also that the money spent in this election by the ruling party and the opposition may impede the working strength of the governor come second tenure. What are your views on that?
Thank you very much. All right. Now you are also asking a very frank question. And when election was, even before the election, we all observed what happened due to the crisis. So when the house divided against itself could not stand, things fell apart, the center could not hold. You know, the governor had to go to another party. We saw the swap. The governorship candidate for the other party in 2016 is now, and vice versa. And that's why people have rightly said that there is no difference between the two parties, PDP and APC. The difference between PDP and APC is like the difference between 6 and half a dozen. And the issue of vote buying during the primaries expending huge sums of money to get the ticket for the primaries. Who is responsible for that? The people. The same people that we are saying, the people who want Edo State to move forward. They are the ones demanding for all this money. You go to someone who you feel is highly respected and a rich person is greedy, wants money. You go to the one that is poor, out of want, he wants money. And so, it's a politics of money. And the same money that will be used to develop the state, you are collecting it now. Even some will complain that, oh, I was giving only 50,000. I was giving only this or that, and so on and so forth, at different levels. That means we have not started. That means we are not godly, we are not God-fearing, we are selling our goods. Adi Kamola Wadiao said, we don't sell our good deeds. If I do good for you, I don't expect anything in return. I expect my reward from God. But today, we are all after our selfish interest. And that is what is responsible for not making some governors to properly perform. Where will he manufacture the fund from? Is it the same billions of naira that I've spent? So we need to really, as a nation, and then let us start from Edo State.
Hold on, I want to go for a break.
Okay.
When we return, you continue
Thank you very
with
much.
your chain of thoughts. We'll be right back. Do stay tuned.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's all about setting an agenda for Governor Obaseki, all in the aftermath of Edo 2020. Well, I have three great men with me here in the studio. And of course, let me go to Emmanuel Aibogum. Do I promise that you're going to consider, but let us get to Emmanuel because of time management. The speculation and rumor about huge amount of money being spent in this election, do you see it affecting the performance of the governor this second term?
To a reasonable extent, anybody who saw the way monies were used to purchase tickets and spent on campaign and mobilization by an incumbent governor would know that that would definitely affect the developmental strides of our people. For me, I will say it, and I'll keep saying it, and not until when the governor have been able to give us a valid presentation of what he has done with over 420 billion naira accrued to those people, from the IGRO generated to the FEC allocations and other platforms of borrowing that the state has enjoyed within the last 3.5 years. I would not believe that after these elections, the government will still have it, a smooth way to project development for our people. Secondly, again, I would also want to use this platform to appeal to the leadership of this great country called Nigeria to please ensure that they do the needful to ensure that the Electoral Act, as amended, is being appended to, so that the issue of expenditure when it has to do with elections can be checkmate.
Right.
If that is not done, we will still be within this circle of people spending bogus amount of money, and these activities are not being put under check. Since there's a legislation that has been done and passed, I believe any right-thinking government should immediately append their consent to it.
I will come back to you. Now, Festus, you heard them. They agree to the fact that a huge amount of money was spent in the election, and it will, or use the word may, affect the performance of the governor this second tenure. What are your views on these assertions?
Well, I will first of all to tell Edo people to confirm from those Edo workers, when was their salary paid this month? The salary of Edo workers was paid on the 17th of this month. The salaries of teachers, everybody was paid on the 17th of this month. A governor who is a city governor that is contesting in the history of Nigeria, which governor can pay on the 17th? You see, Governor Obaseki, I told you before, I said, I can stand as a guarantor to those Edolites who came out en masse on Saturday to re-elect that great governor and his deputy, Comrade Philip Shuaibu. Without no doubt, Governor Obaseki and Philip Shuaibu, they are going to give did a very good development to Edo State, to Edo people. In fact, my road is not even tied. The road, my road in Ebu. I am also using this media to say my governor will tie that road. I'm telling the people of that area now that my governor is going to tie. So
you're saying that the money spent is not going to affect anything?
It's not going to affect anything. Even the governor, PDP, did he actually spend a huge amount of money on that last election? APC was giving 10,000.
These are just allegations and speculation.
No, those are also. I have my friends, I have my people at different polling booths. In my polling booth was 5,000. 5,000.
And some still accuse the PDP of sharing money also.
I commended the people for collecting those money. Even the people in Udo, they know what they saw. They are watching me right now. They collected the money. I want to use this opportunity to thank Edo people for collecting those money and vote their conscience. Because you see all these politicians, they were dishing out those money, and those money would have affected Edo State economy. Because they would have want to get that money before they will start doing anything for Edo people. But Godwin Obaseki didn't give out any money. He's a man that uses intelligence. He uses his brain. He's an economist. He uses his brain to say, no, we are not going to dish out money. I've seen that the people have me in support. The people have me in mind. They are going to vote me. If my governor, Godwin Obaseki, have given out money, the way APC gave out that money, it would have been more than 150,000 votes would have used to win APC. I'm telling you, it would have been more than 150. We already predicted it before the election.
So you're saying that no money was used by PDP on the election?
PDP didn't use money. I'm telling you, PDP didn't use money. APC with additional money. Because of the love, the massive love, the Edo people have for Governor Godwin Obaseki and Philip Shaibu. They came out of mass and voted the governor for the election. And that is not going to affect Edo people. Okay. I mark you, between now and December, those uncompleted projects. You are going to see contractor going back to site.
Barrister Alao, I mean, he said that the ruling party didn't spend money on the election, according to his statement, that it's not going to affect the performance of the government, as against the speculation and rumor making the rounds that both parties spent humongous amount of money in the election. Take it up from there.
Thank you very much. I'm not a. I really not. I'm not a politician. I'm a lawyer. I'm a cleric, and we are about to speak the truth. The issue of vote buying is not something anybody can deny again, because while you do it secretly, people who collected money will say, "So person give us money. So person give us money." So the more you try to cover up what is not concealable, then it will now affect your integrity if care is not taken. We are trying to curb something. The statement of collect the money and vote your conscience. Are you encouraging people to collect bribe? Where is your conscience if you collect bribe?
Is bribe not a part of the justice system?
Hold on, Professor. He has the floor.
It's all right.
It is very, very ungodly to encourage people to collect bribe. You know, there are gifts which are permissible. Gifts that is not attached to any promise. Oh, take free gift, but not take and vote for me. No longer a gift. First, some advice that, in fact, if you are owing someone is owing you and he gives you a gift, don't take. If he offers you a ride, gift, don't take. If you demand for your money, you say, oh, I give you a perfume that day. I did not carry in my car. And if a public servant, if you are giving gift, report to the government. These gifts are given to me. President say, if you say, okay, this is for government, this is my personal gift, that you will be asked. If you sit in your father's house, you will be given that gift. That you are giving that gift because of the position you occupy. So it's not for you, everything is for government. Now, having said that, we need to really commend our Governor Obaseki. Election is over. He has been declared the winner.
Thank you.
And we have to accept this. Islam, Allah says in the Quran that Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul wa amri minkum, that obey Allah and His Apostle and those in authority. So you have an authority is not in authority and then you obey him. And that explains why you see some Muslims going out to say, okay, we endorse the governor. And then you now see some other Muslims always saying that, okay, Israel has a deputy who is a Muslim. Yes, for that reason, we also endorse him. And then you see those who say, okay, I'm not partisan. Whatever step you take is allowed, because la ikraha fi din, There is no compulsion in religion. You are free to take your decision, free of association. But and we should avoid hate speech. But today, some are insulting others and engaging in hate speech, castigating others for not following their party. Everybody cannot vote for one person. Even if Almighty God decide to contest an election, he will not score 100%. Some will vote against God, even though they know that God created them. I'm telling you, they have complaints against God. Why am I poor? Why am I not rich? Let alone a human being. So you cannot expect everybody. So the important thing is that majority are voted for you. And then very, very importantly, in order for the state to move forward, when we're talking of reconciliation, settlement, a lot of sacrifices are involved. By the time we say bad settlement is better than good judgment, if we are looking at reconciliation now, the members of our assembly who are out, Governor, please call them in. Let's drop the cases. In fact, an imam was deposed, removed. During the heat of the crisis, imam of the Edo State Muslim Welfare Board was removed from office because of the side he took. People endorsed the governor and he said, no, I make a disclaimer. I'm not part of this. We didn't want the meeting because I was removed. So please, Mr. Governor, please, it's on Islamic to remove a governor for an imam because imams are leaders. They are fathers. All of us are their children. I'm coming. So all of us are their children. They will pray for you, pray for everybody. But it's not compulsory that you must say you must belong to this or that. I'm a cleric now, and that explains why we say we have secret ballots. You cannot know who I voted for.
All right.
I went to vote.
I know who I voted for.
Now,
Please stop.
Finally, and very, very importantly, for the state to move forward,
I know where you voted for.
The governor has been performing. Anybody says he has not performed, of course, he's saying what he likes.
All right.
Payments, Prophet Islam says that to pay the remuneration of workers before the sweat dries, pay their salary before the sweat dries. Pensioners are now being settled on time. So we have the many good things, and even in Islam, this election should not even come up. Right. Leaders have to be in office for life.
Thank you.
But this is not Muslim. This is not Islam.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
I'm coming.
Thank you, Alaji.
So now, finally,
yes,
we should all put hands together, considering the nature and the position of Edo State. We should be leading the heartbeat of the nation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know you have so much to say, but we have to work with the time limit because our time is up. You have 30 seconds each to really summarize. If there is a project you want the governor to focus on, what will it be? Igbogun, 30 seconds, please. Our time is up.
Firstly, as a Democrat, I want the governor to quickly go back and respect all relevant court orders and judgments that court has issued in respect to issues involving the state government and other relevant authorities within the state.
All right.
Then, to round my statement up, I would also want Edo people to also join in ensuring that the obvious be ascertained to see how the government would actually perform, if the case may be.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Festus, 30 seconds briefly.
I want to actually use this media to tell Edo people, be steadfast. Thank you so much for coming out en masse to vote PDP in September 19th. I'm telling you, I'm reassuring you now today that my governor, I know, will not disappoint you.
Thank you.
I want to use this opportunity to congratulate you Edo people and congratulate my honorable governor and his deputy Phyllis Shwaibu.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate the wonderful analysis. Our time is up. Well, he is the governor of Edo State. He is your governor. He is my governor. He is our governor. It's time for reconciliation and, of course, working to make Edo a better place. Bye for now.